This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, all you crypto boomers. This is Bud for another episode of Crypto Boomers. I've got a very exciting episode with you today, so please do stay tuned. Paul is enjoying himself on a sunny beach somewhere. In fact, a little bit later on, I'll just play a message that Paul sent through to me, but he is absolutely enjoying his time off and said that, hey, Paul, I said to him, Paul, can you just have a week off and let me run with the show? So this is an episode. Do remember to subscribe and let me just play this little message here from Paul, if you can hear this.
It's Paul, and I am on the beach living the binge lifestyle. This week you're in good hands. I'm going to be listening in. I don't have good enough service to be able to do the podcast this week, but Bud's going to head it up. And hopefully George can get on. I haven't talked to him today, but you guys enjoy, and it's exciting. Talk to you later.
Well, I hope you heard that. That was a message I got from Paul, and so he said, Bud, would you manage to hold the fort? So I'm doing exactly that. And I decided to have someone I've been eager to talk to for quite some time join me to help me with this week's episode. And his name is Jerry. We refer to him as Jer. And he has been in crypto since 2016, but you do want to listen to his story because he, like many of us, have been trained by someone we refer to as Crypto J, and we've been what we refer to as the original founders of the Binge team. And so you can find out more about Crypto J if you go to the bitcoinacademy.io, which is the new website that we've just transitioned to. But the wonderful success story we've got to talk about today is with Jer, and he has a story of taking $300 of money in 2016 and trading and learning and getting educated and controlling his emotions and doing all the things correct. And he has over the years amassed a really nice pot of wealth, and we're going to talk about that. So, Jer, are you there?
I'm here. Thanks for having me on, Bud.
Wonderful. Yeah, great. Thanks for joining me. And hey, let's talk about the story then. Let's go back to 2016. This is right. You had $300 of money that you put into crypto.
Yeah, well, it was the only $300 I could put in because we didn't have a lot of money back then. And it was something, I heard about, and I didn't know how to do anything back then. There was nobody to help you. There was none of these websites. There was no exchanges. It was really tough sledding. And but back in 2016 in March, I kind of said, well, I've got to do something with this. It's something that's kind of eating at me, and it's one of those feelings you get, Bud. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I started. I think Bitcoin was around $400 US at that time, and I started out with $300 Canadian, because I am a Canadian. And so I just bought and sold, and I got up a little bit, and then I'd skim a little bit off the market, and then I'd get up a little bit, and I'd skim a little bit more. Then I lost some because I didn't know what I was doing, and I tried stocks and stuff like that before, and that didn't work out so well because all the people telling you to buy a stock were the people that were trying to get out of that stock. So you were buying their their stock so that they could get out. And a lot of us have been in that situation before. So I took that,
Yeah.
and by the time August of 17 rolled around, I had 7 Bitcoin. And at the time, they were about $3,500, I think, US, if I can remember correctly. And I was so excited because I started with $300 and I had 7 Bitcoin that were worth $3,500 US a piece, and I was just over the moon. And so November of 2017 hit, and we started to rise. And that's kind of when I met Jay, and through Jay Snip, and I think a lot of us did that too. And he was talking about, crypto and all this stuff. And my wife actually got me to listen. And I really didn't like the Jay Snip person, but she said, you got to listen to this guy that they've got on there, this Crypto Jay guy. And I said, who the heck is Crypto Jay? Anyway, I thought, I said, well, what the heck? I says, I'm in, I might as well. And that was a journey that has changed my life.
Then let's talk about that journey to change your life, Jer. So that because we have the same sort of journey. I was introduced to Crypto J through YouTube, and it was back in 2017, late 2017. I was in an emotional high about Bitcoin, having similar to you, got in pretty early when it was down at $200, $300, $400. And it felt expensive. Remember? Do you remember it
Oh,
feeling expensive?
I went, this is crazy. I can't believe this stuff is this expensive.
Yeah. And so really then, when you met Jay, how did it change your life? What would you what were those early years like with Jay?
Well, first, I I was kind of, okay, what do I do? Um, the market started to go, and it was in 2017, and it was in November, and Bitcoin hit $7,500, and I'm just freaking out because I don't have any experience. And so I said, well, I'm going to start liquidating, and I was smart enough not to liquidate it all at $7,500. I sold one, and then I sold another half at, I think it was 8,000. It was running pretty fast back then, if anybody can remember. And I was totally sold out of my positions by the time it hit 95, $9,700. But I had put my sell orders in, and since then I have learned that you make a trade plan, and then you plan that trade, and then you trade the plan. And I came out with $75,000 Canadian, starting with 300 bucks, and I was over the moon.
That is wonderful. Do you know, I remember those early days with Jay, and I was in intense learning. 'Cause I was consuming all of his modules. There's intro to trading, his the mindset modules, the candlesticks modules, and I remember like being in the heat of that kind of old bull market we had that when coming out of 2017, going into 2018. And I remember a day, a bit like today, where Bitcoin started plummeting, and I'd never seen anything move down so fast. Uh, and and Jay came on and said, "Oh, we're just going for a touch of the 200 moving average." And I was just amazed, weren't you? Like how could someone know that? That where that's heading for, and it absolutely touched the 200 moving average and bounced off. It was incredible.
Well, like I said, like I was pretty much out of the market. By the time I met Jay, because I'd kind of done this on my own, and then because we had this pot of money, uh, my wife had said, well, you got to listen to this guy. Of course, we were in the down market by then, and um, but they had their falling out, whatever happened, and we all got together and emailed Jay and brought him back out of the weeds again, and he came in to help us, and I bought all of his training modules that I could get my hands on, and so we did the training 101 uh, first module, and we just kept going through everything that he's taught us about IBC. He's taught us about, how to um, um, move your money in and out of the market. there's just so many things that he's taught us. And I couldn't be happier with a coach, but I remember thinking, where are we going with all of this? And he's brought so many things to us through this group, so much more than just trading, um, health, mindset, and he's got many courses, and I think you've got some up there right now, learning from the expert. But his trading course will teach you about the markets, how to keep your mindset straight. Like right now, I can just hear the average person that's in crypto right now just freaking out, and because the market has just plummeted. And we've known about this for 6, 8 months that this was all going to happen, and he makes trade calls 4 years in advance, and he's never missed a target. Yeah, he revises them, but that's what you got to do. And he's teaching us just to be calm. Like most people would look at their portfolio. Like I started with $300 at Christmas time. We were about 280K, and about 3 or 4 days ago, before Bitcoin plummeted here, we were at 1.97 mil. And
Oh, that's wonderful.
for anybody that is listening to this and wondering, can I do this? Well, yeah, but you got to get the right coach. You got to get in with the right people, and you can't learn from somebody that's never been there. And that's what I've learned from Jay more than anything. Why would you follow somebody that has less of a portfolio than you do? It doesn't make any sense to me. So anyway, I've got a whole bunch of friends and family into crypto since I've been involved. I think my notes are I'm up to 26 people that have helped get into the market. We have 9 of those people that are on our Patreon, with some people trying to get in now. And so and it's not the easiest thing to sell a person on. You can keep talking to them and talking to them and talking to them. They just look at you like you got 3 heads. I says, well, I need 3 hats. It's
Yeah.
okay. I know my brother got in with $500 because I think he got tired of me talking to him. He just says, here's $500. Figure out what you need to help me with. And his portfolio is over 14 grand now. And he's just looking at me like, how did this happen? I said, I told you you had a chance of it happening. There was no guarantees, but I said, what's $500 to you? Like that's 3 pairs of designer jeans with holes all through them nowadays. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually one of the things we talk about to the crypto boomers is start off small, with a few $100s, because this money can disappear pretty quickly and then reappear. But again, it's the training and a lot of the courses you mentioned here. There's 2 websites. There's the bitcoinacademy.io, which is where we have our day-to-day, week-to-week updates about current events and things. And then there's all the old library of classes, that we've all been through. So I remember all these classes here: the introduction to trading, the advanced charting, and Elliott wave, and the volume and stuff. So yeah, that kind of it's been a great education.
That financial boot camp is amazing too. Like the things that we learned there, and then George, Jay's partner, with the cybersecurity. If you're in crypto, you better take that course, or you're going to lose everything that you ever thought you were going to make. So, hats off to George for putting all that together too.
Well, Jay, you've taken $300 and transferred it into transitioned it into the mighty wealth that you talked about, 1.9 million. I mean, that's unbelievable. So what do you make of today? We're obviously having a kind of correction, but look at all this this volume coming in to the market. Look at these smart people buying the dip.
Yeah, and some of that's planned, some of that is out of our hands. But when you listen to Jay's um, like we have a weekly live stream, and he comes on, when you're in a bull market, he comes on way more than he had normally come on, just to keep us up to date. And today he just came out with a little blurb saying, "Oh, so today is schooling time," and I can't remember exactly what he said, but just stay calm, and he'll be coming out with a video this afternoon for some more learning. But we've been through this before in 2017, and we've been 3 years waiting for the bull market, and it's just time to reap the rewards and stay calm. And like I I pivoted a bunch of Litecoin yesterday into 2 coins, and then they just dropped, and I just went, hindsight would have been great, a crystal ball would have been great, but you know, it's just one of those things where I could have pivoted that Litecoin into a stable coin, and then bought those coins today and got double my position. But again, I had a trade plan. My trade plan for those coins was to get me on the NetJets team, and if I can, if they hit their targets, and Jay hasn't missed a target in 4 years, if they hit those targets, I'll be 8 figures, and just
Wow.
with those 2 coins. And
Well, that's amazing.
yeah, so he has been an absolute savior.
So you and I, we have had this training, and one of the things I drew, and I've been showing over the last few weeks to the crypto boomers, is this head and shoulders pattern on the Bitcoin dominance.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and actually, ironically, I was sitting there yesterday, and I've already had this little thing on my screen. I don't know if you can see that. Take some profit in alts at
Yeah,
this
exactly.
level.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and then I had this take some profit in alts sitting here, and this has been on here since February or whenever Jay originally drew this head and shoulders, and I kind of drew it, and I've been sitting here waiting for this to hit, and it says here take profit. So I basically it hit the other day, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I don't know whether to take profits in alts. I don't know if I want to come out the market. So I made a decision to stay in. And this thing, like we've got to get across to the crypto boomers is nobody knows, absolutely nobody knows. So I'm sitting here and I'm not feeling any regret that, I should have taken some off the market and put it back in. It's just one of those things. So as you say, you need a trade plan, stick with the trade plan, and we have some very high targets, and this will all be forgotten in a few days if they start ramping up towards our targets.
yeah. I agree with that fully. And another thing you want to do is when you get a chance to skim some profit, because you never go broke taking profit, and put it in a stable coin or put it somewhere and keep it on the side for these dips. And that's where you're gonna you leverage that ability to buy at different points in the market, so your average buys are kind of, it moderizes them a bit, so that when you, because you always, um, when you say buy, you're looking at a crypto, and you say, okay, I got this pot of money to buy. You don't put the whole 100% in there on the very first buy. You layer it in, and that's what he's taught us. You look at it and say, okay, I'm going to buy 20% of my whatever allocation I have for this coin now. So I'm in, and then I'm going to wait. And then it comes down a little bit, and you have a target of where you want to put in maybe another 20%, and leave that big bunch for the bottom, because we're looking for the bottom 20 to 30%, and we're trying to get out on the 20 to 30% of the top. So we start to sell when we start getting close to our targets. And Theta is a perfect example. We had targets there that Jay hit, and it overperformed. And even Jay, as seasoned as he is, was sitting there for 24 hours going, I got out too early. But again, he made a trade plan. He stuck with his trade plan, and that actually that one trade retired me.
Wow. One
There was
trade. That's
one
the thing we
one.
learn. Hey, Jer, we learn that as swing traders, it can take a long time, 1 to 2 years, to wait for your profit. But when you take your profit, you're taking out massive wealth creation. And like you, that one trade has set you free.
Yeah, and I said all I need is 3 years of income that I can, sit in a stable coin and draw out every month, and that's my income. And that one trade that we got in 2017, and we sat, and it's so funny when you're in this because people, they're just people, and they look at you like, oh, how's that crypto thing doing for you, that Bitcoin thing that you're in? And for 3 years, I had to eat that every day, right? And now people
Yeah.
ask me, hey, remember that Bitcoin thing that you're in? Can you help me get in? It's funny when
Yeah.
it turns around, but for 3 years they were bugging me, how's that crypto thing that you're in? And I just go, and you know what? It's patience. And like Jay always taught us, he said, wealth transfers from the impatient to the patient. And we've just been patient. And even through this, you could see it go down. I've got stable coins on the side that I'm going to put in probably today, and buy some more of my positions that I'm in, because this is just a big fire sale. And that's what we do. We buy the lows, and it's that same old story that he keeps harping on us. We buy the fear, and we sell the greed. And right now that's why those candles are way up. Those buying candles is because people are buying the fear.
Yeah, blood on the streets. And look at that.
Yeah.
Selling Theta there a little bit too early, and being happy with the return. And then, of course, like it always comes back. Look, there we go. And it's
Yeah.
had a
Well, yeah.
really huge drop today.
Yeah. No, and that's the time to get back in those coins, because we know, Jay's talked about targets in the future. And, we've been waiting for, our liquidity swap, and then we're going to sell a lot of our coins, and then we're going to rebuy during the down market. And some of these coins is a big buy today, and get your positions back. But you could talk about, well, we missed the top. Well, if you were smart and you said, okay, I'm out with 75% of my theta at this target, and I was out at I think it was 825 US, because that was my target to sell everything, but I wasn't sure. So I'd sold 75%, and I kept 25% of my theta, and I sold it for $12 US. And that was huge. And but that retired me. And I got to, I was 4 years living in the north, and my wife was in the south, kind of being close to her mom that's got dementia, and that's where she had to be. So I was keeping two places, working a job, and thank God I had that job, because it kept the wolves from the door, and kept me in crypto. And but it was time I could say, hey, I could sell this stuff, and I could be with my wife and my family, and that's what I did.
Well, let's talk about that, Jarrett, because um, we're often encouraged by our coach to have a manifest stuff in our own life and have dreams. And clearly, that must have been one of your dreams, was to retire with your wife. Are there any other dreams you want to like talk about here?
Yeah, so he tells you to I don't know what it's called. It's called a dream board or something. Um, and you make up um, uh, a board with all the things that you'd like to see manifested in your life. So I threw some things up there. So retirement was one, a property that we could own, a house, because we haven't had a house in I don't know how long. We've been renting for I don't know how long, because I just didn't want to put money into a place and we weren't sure where we wanted to live. Then I had a snowmobile on there, just the regular stuff, a motorcycle, a horse, and a dirt bike. Well, I pretty much got, I don't know if that's 6 or 7 things, but I've got 6 out of the 7 already that I pretty much got for free through crypto. And the only thing we don't have yet is the house, and we'll wait to find that perfect property that we want. I got horses that I can play with now because I train horses too. And so that's came. So I don't even have to own the horse and have all the day-to-day things with the horse, but I can go play with him. I can ride him anytime I want. So that's all come to fruition. But another thing he said was write yourself a check for say $1 million, put it and photocopy and paste it all over the place so you're seeing it all over the place. I had because I was living alone, I had above my bed $100 bills, that I just had in black and white, just all pinned everywhere, taped everywhere. Everywhere I looked, there was $100 bills. And so it just looked like I had so much money that I just started to believe I did. And it's kind of manifested it into that. So that went from 280K, like I was saying, to 1.97. And I don't worry about it anymore. And he said, if you're worried about money, you'll never have it. So just always think like you've got lots. And it was really funny that one day he was talking about people walking out of a room and turning the lights off. That's broke thinking. He says, I never think about the lights because he says, I have enough money to cover the bills. And I want to get to that point, Bud, where that freedom point where Jay says, you pay all your bills 1 year in advance and you have no debt. That's my next goal.
Right. Yeah. Like that's such a great piece of advice there, that living debt free with the whole year paid out. That is incredible advice. So as we wrap this up, then, Jer, it's been fun talking to you about our time together with Crypto J. Do you have any final nuggets of wisdom that you think over the years that have kind of stood out to you from your teaching with Crypto J?
Well, I don't know that I have many nuggets. Jay's got lots. What I would tell the people is I would join this binge team as soon as possible. And if you think you're not sure, do it for a month, do it for 6 months and see how it works out for you. And when you get in with the group, you'll find out all the encouragement, and you'll understand why we're still there. And I have one more dream, is to be on the NetJets team. And like that's just another thing that Jay's brought forward to us. He brings us all these little things outside of the trading world, and just out of the goodness of his heart. And we've helped Salud Hondu. That's another project of Jay's that we were able to, because of our crypto winnings, help a nonprofit in another country with helping people and their health. So, the biggest nugget I can say from Jay is, get in there, learn what he's teaching, take his courses, and just become part of the binge team. And I said, that'll get you further down the road than just about anything you're probably doing right now, because you're not going to make it on a job. It's going to have to be something outside the job. It's something that you're going to have to invest in, and that could be something different. He might not be the coach that you're looking for, but I would give him a try and see what you think. And that's probably my closing remarks. And I'd be joining Bud's group too, the crypto boomers, and I plan on doing that. It's just been really busy, and again, that old saying by Yoda, when he used to say, try not, do or do not, there is no try, right? And if you just think about that, just get involved. Start with a little bit, see how it works out. And I know all the people before the last couple of days. I don't think there was anybody that I've helped get in the market that wasn't in the black. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a
it's working
great
out.
words of wisdom. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jer, it's been wonderful hearing your story from $300 to $1.9 million. What a wonderful journey that we've all been on. It's been so wonderful to talk with you about. I mean, we're all students of Crypto J, Paul and George's partner, and you, Jer, and me. So I would just highly encourage people to go to the bitcoinacademy.io. That's the bitcoinacademy.io, and just have a go at just learning and actually go through a lot of the past as well. You know, at the bitcoinacademy.net has all the old courses and a lot of the old teachings. Jay's 10-year roadmap is absolutely terrific and really worth a listen. But none of this makes any sense until you get the psychology mindset correct. And you know, we need mindset on days like today where we're all crashing, but we're as cool as a cucumber. Wonderful. Jer, thanks for joining me today on the Crypto Boomers. You take care.
Thanks for having me, bud.